Hello, folks, and welcome into Day 4 of NBA Free Agency. I am Tom Downey. Alongside me is Harrison Graham. We're going to break down all the latest news, the rumors, the signings, everything you guys want to know about NBA Free Agency. Of course, we're not dumb. We know what everyone wants to know. It's what we're all still waiting to learn. That's what's going to happen with Kawhi Leonard. Harrison, what is the latest right now around him?
Yeah, Day 4 of Kawhi watch, not just of the rest of NBA free agency. Look, he's keeping a very tight circle. There's no doubt about that. Yesterday, it seemed like the Lakers had all the momentum. Now, nobody knows. Woj doesn't have any inside info. Windhorst, Shams, Stein, none of these guys have any idea what this guy is going to do, which means there's no consensus on who's the favorite to get him. Of course, Toronto did get the last meeting with him. I'm not sure if he's set to meet more with the Raptors today.
Allegedly was today, or yesterday was that meeting.
Yeah, so I think now it's just wait and see mode. So what is Kawhi going to do? And I have no idea, Tom. I think it's anybody's game at this point.
Look, no one knows what's going to happen with Kawhi. So those of you in the comments putting up fake stories in there, be careful. The associate people here might ban you at some point there. I will say this, Kawhi, he's actually following the rules, and it kind of bothers me here. Like, he's the only one out there in NBA free agency who is choosing to say, you know what, I'm going to follow the rules, I'm going to take my time. I'm not going to start my meetings until free agency begins. It's like he's programmed.
Very on brand, by the way, there, Tom.
Yeah,
just keeping it under the radar, taking his time. And let's remember, folks, too, his season ended 2 weeks ago. Like, the Kevin Durant's of the world, Durant had more time. Some of these other guys didn't even make the playoffs. They've signed. Not a lot of time for him to process what exactly he wanted to do because he's coming off winning a title with that historic run with the Raptors, of course. And I think when you win a title, too, and you're the face of that, you take about a week to kind of celebrate and recompress that. So he's really only focused on free agency probably the last week or so. So he's still early in his process, and we'll see if today is that day that we get some clarity on where Kawhi Leonard ends up.
At this point, I'll just sit around waiting for Kawhi to make a decision. I would not be surprised if it ends up being July 4th.
I said that yesterday. Speaking of on brand, July 4th at about 9 o'clock at night while everybody's out enjoying their drinks, watching some fireworks, eating some barbecue. That would be a very Kawhi Leonard type of move as we await his decision.
So there are only 3 teams here in the mix to land Kawhi. That is the Clippers, the Lakers, and the Raptors. Both LA teams, really the only team out there with a true $32 million max contract. There are some other teams that could make the money if they needed, but those are the 2 that actually have it right now. And Toronto, of course, have the bird rights for Kawhi. Therefore, they can go over the cap to re-sign him.
Yeah, and of course, both LA teams pretty much all in on Kawhi at this point, especially in the Lakers, since they only have 5 or 6 bodies currently on their roster. They did add Jared Dudley yesterday, but it's Kawhi or bust for the Lakers and the Clippers, especially in the Lakers, since, and of course, Toronto, they want to keep him. If they don't, hey, he got him a title. It was a great run. I don't think they're going to be super upset, but obviously they want to bring him back as well.
All right, folks, so predict the time and date of the Kawhi announcement. Many of you who already emailed us, you're incorrect, but we'll let you, I guess, maybe do it again. Why not?
Yeah, look, it's got to be the right day to the exact minute.
Eastern, at least qualify your time zone, by the way, because if you just put in 6 o'clock, you can't cheat and say, I meant 6 Central when you really meant 6 Eastern.
I meant 6 in Eastern Europe. No, you got to clarify which time zone you're talking about. So go to Kawhi at chatsports.com, enter that exact time and date, and you'll win a prize from us.
All right, folks. So again, that's email at Kawhi at chatsports.com. That is Kawhi's burner account, by the way. Don't tell anybody. We won't tell anyone. I guess I kind of blew that, didn't I?
I think you
Oops.
did blow that.
Sorry, Kawhi.
That's fake news, not Kawhi's burner account, as Tom stumbled through that one. I think we got to get to these team pitches, by the way.
Yeah, so we'll start with the defending champions, the Toronto Raptors. What's the pitch here?
Okay, the pitch is simple, right? You're the king of Canada if you already, and you really cement that if you go back to Toronto and you run it back. Look, they got a lot of guys in the last year of their deal. Veterans, Kyle Lowry, Marc Gasol opted in. You got a rising player in Pascal Siakam. I think with KD sitting this year out in Brooklyn, the really only big threat in the East is Milwaukee right now. So you've got a very good chance of getting back to the finals. And then you can hit free agency again next year if you're Kawhi in a very weak free agency pool. So to me, that's kind of the pitch if you're Toronto to try and keep Kawhi Leonard.
You didn't include Drake on here.
True.
For on purpose or not on purpose?
I'm not sure. Drake is a big pitch if you're Kawhi. I know he's
not.
trying
Totally
to recruit him, but yes, Drake, of course, is trying to keep his boy.
With the dip there. Yeah?
I'm not a Drake guy, man.
I know you're not.
I'll be honest. I can't do Drake. I just can't. To me, that hurts their chances of getting Kawhi, getting Drake involved in the act. I'm just not in on Drake and the Raptors, but he is certainly trying to be a part of this thing.
All right, so who's the king of Canada? Type D for Drake, K for Kawhi. Feel free to throw in other people in there as well.
Kawhi. It's not
Kawhi?
Drake.
Trick question.
Anti-Drake
it's
guy.
actually going to be Prince Charles soon. You think I'm kidding? I'm not, though. When Queen Elizabeth dies, technically speaking, Prince Charles becomes the king of Canada.
Who's your favorite Prince? Fielder?
Just Prince.
Just Prince? True.
Just Prince.
Prince is hard to beat. So, yeah, type D for Drake, type K for Kawhi in the comments section.
Yeah. All right, so what's your favorite Drake song there? Also, shout out Harul, who said Justin Bieber was the king of Canada.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one there. Well, I am anti-Drake guy. His Take Care album is pretty good. Pretty good stuff there. So I'll go Headlines on that album. That's a good one there.
That's a
Mitch
good choice.
shaking his head back there. I think that's a good one.
That's
I'll
a good
go
choice.
Pretty up-tempo there. I'll go Headlines.
Stanky Pineapple Pro says Marvin's Room because he's a sad boy.
What are you, a Hornets fan?
Oh, savage.
Knicks,
there.
maybe?
Headlines is in there. I see Nonstop. All right, that's some good ones here. All right, folks, let's move to the potential lineup for Toronto with Kawhi. Look, just roll it back. Maybe you bring back Danny Green, too, as well.
Yeah, right now you pencil in Norman Powell. Of course, Green may or may not be waiting on Kawhi's decision at this point, but very similar lineup, very similar bench. In a lot of ways, they're trying to bring back that exact core. You'd have Anunoby this year, who's back and healthy. So, again, I think this roster would compete and be the favorites to beat in the favorites in the East to get back to the finals next year.
Roll it back one more year, you remain in really, really good shape. Of course, the Raptors, Lakers, Clippers, those are the three teams still waiting on Kawhi to make his decision. There are other pieces like a Marcus Morris, like a Danny Green, who are still in the mix there as well. You put this one, Harris, here. What's your favorite extinct dinosaur? Now, my first question to you is, why'd you clarify with extinct?
They're all extinct,
They're all dead. So you don't, that's like saying, what's your favorite dinosaur? Like, it's the extinct dinosaur are the same.
They might be coming back. You never know.
Look, Jurassic Park I would love to have happen. That's not how it works.
You would love to have it happen?
Yes, I want a pet Velociraptor. That is the correct answer, by the way. Velociraptor.
You're not a pterodactyl guy?
Well, let me clarify here.
Flying dinosaurs.
First off, it's pronounced pterodactyl, sir. I know how to read.
The P is not silent.
Exactly. The Velociraptor from the Jurassic Park movies is my favorite, which is really the Deinonychus dinosaur.
I feel like the
Velociraptor sounds cool.
Tyrannosaurus Rex is just kind of the cliche answer, so I'm going to stick away there. I'm sticking with the pterodactyl. P is silent, unlike what Tom Downey is saying.
Pterodactyl. I know how to read, sir.
If you could spell pterodactyl.
I'll clarify this. You mentioned T-Rex there. I've told many of you this, but my firstborn son, I want to name him Thomas Rex Downey so I can call him T-Rex. Because tell me that kid's not going to be the most badass kid ever.
Tom, for those of you who don't know,
Tom
has a sports theory that
it's not a theory, it's a fact.
If you have a dope name, you're going to be legit in sports. That's basically...
Find me a person with an awesome name or nickname
that's ordinary.
That wasn't great at what he did. No matter what that kid does, he's going to be a success. Lawyer. No one wants to mess with the T-Rex lawyer. Football player. As long as he's not a receiver, he's going to be fantastic. Basketball player, whatever it is. Drug dealer. No one's going to mess with that guy. He's going to be a success in the end.
Well, we'll see how that works out for Tom and the Downey family. Let's get to the Lakers pitch for Kawhi Leonard. Look, I think it's simple. You get to be the face of maybe the biggest franchise in the sport. And again, that's got to be a clarification for the Lakers here. You have to sell Kawhi. Yeah, we got LeBron. We got Anthony Davis. This is your team. Kawhi doesn't want to play second fiddle to LeBron or anybody else. You got to sell him that this is his group.
I think that's the key thing for LeBron, and I think he's already laid this foundation of that by giving AD the number 23 jersey. He says, look, Kawhi, I already gave up my number to AD, man. You're going to be the focal point here. This ain't my team anymore. This is yours and Anthony Davis.
But does it ever really work out that way with LeBron?
They're going to tell him.
There's no evidence of that.
I don't know. Look, LeBron is not the same guy he was in Cleveland or Miami anymore. Playoff mode LeBron didn't get activated.
And it is fair to say, coming
year.
off a 37-win season where he missed some time with injury, maybe he has had a shift in focus and just simply wants to do what it takes to win. And getting Kawhi Leonard is a good step in doing that if you're LeBron and the Lakers.
So here's a potential lineup for the Lakers. Again, the shooting guard, we don't really know who that ends up being there. And I think LeBron really does end up playing the point guard role there.
Yeah, I mean, you could plug in Troy Daniels. They picked up Jared Dudley. I still think they'll be in the market for some other shooters. Maybe Danny Green becomes an option there. Pencil in any veteran shooter. That's what it's going to be there. And, yeah, LeBron's going to, be the primary ball handler there. Kawhi Leonard will take some of those duties as well. It looks like they won't really have a true point guard on this roster.
I do think Rondo ends up back on like a vet min deal, frankly.
Yeah, he could run that second unit, put a bunch of shooters around him, and you can kind of mix and match lineups with Kuzma running with the second team as well. So I certainly think that would be an option.
All right, folks, so this is the Lakers pitch to Kawhi there again. By the way, make sure you are subscribed. Get us to 125K. And I'm actually going to take it one step further just for like this show only. I want us to get to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That could happen.
That's what
That'd
I
be
want.
Fun.
And I want that screen grab too. So somebody
We'll get producer Tad on that. He'll screen grab it. So you got to hit that subscribe button. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. We're going to be live throughout the rest of free agency. NFL season's rolling around. Tom and Mitch, and I'll probably get involved with some of that as well. Lots of good stuff we have going on here at Chat Sports.
All right. So the Clippers, their pitch meanwhile to Kawhi. What is it here, Harrison?
I think it's we get less coverage than the Lakers, and I know you don't want the spotlight all the time, so come be the face of our franchise. You don't have to have all that buzz surrounding LeBron and LA and everything that's going to happen there with Anthony Davis as well, and you pitch him on depth too. Hey, we got a ton of depth. Lakers don't. We can do some of that load management that you did in Toronto, and we'll go super deep. You don't have to play all the back-to-backs, and we'll ramp you up come playoff time, and you get to play for Doc Rivers. I think that's another part of the pitch there too, whereas the Lakers can't say that and the Raptors can't say that either.
I think the issue for LA, and this was their plan originally, was, hey, we're going to set up a scenario where you get to be paired with Jimmy Butler or Kevin Durant, and that did not happen.
Yeah, that has gone awry. So you can't sell him on a fellow superstar. So if you're Kawhi and this is the pitch from the Clippers, don't you just go back to the Raptors?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's kind of the challenge for the Clippers. The only thing they have over a Toronto, one location, and B, maybe Doc Rivers, although Nick Nurse proved last year that he is among the higher tier among coaches in the NBA.
I will make note, though, this Clippers unit with Kawhi, it's a good squad.
Yeah, and it's very deep. I think, again, the depth is the pitch, a big part of the pitch there for the Clippers. I mean, you got the starting five there with Alexander and Pat Beverly in the backcourt. Don't forget, you got the sixth man of the year in Lou Williams. He would certainly be in there in crunch time. We'll see what happens with Gallinari. Maybe they ship him for some cap space, but he quietly averaged 20 points per game last year. So that is a team that can score in a lot of different ways.
All right, folks. So again, the latest on Kawhi. Raptors, Lakers, Clippers, they're all patiently, and maybe patience is in quotes there, waiting.
Well, you don't have a choice, especially if you're the Lakers. You have no choice at this point but to wait on what Kawhi decides to do.
All right, folks, so prediction time. What team will Kawhi Leonard sign with? Type TOR for the Raptors, LAC for the Clippers, LAL for the Lakers. What do you think?
My final thought here is I'm going to circle back to Toronto. Yesterday, I thought the Lakers had the slight edge, but I truly think nobody knows. And with them getting the last meeting, with the East being more winnable, I think he signs a short-term deal and runs it back up in Canada.
Votes are coming in. If you're typing in DAL, I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. Looks like LAL, though, is the winner. So, folks, keep those votes flowing here live on YouTube.